Hey, this is RonnygoBOOM and welcome to my trap tutorial series. Today I'm going to show you all about desert temples, and we're going to investigate this one, and I'm going to show you how to make additional traps inside of them. They're undetectable and they're really easy to build. Doesn't take a lot of resources. I found this desert temple in the wilderness myself just by flying around in my creative 1.10 world. I cloned it a couple times so that we can do some experiments and make some traps in it. So let's start out with this one. These desert temples are unique because they have several entrances. You can either come in from the side like this, either of these sides, or they have additional entrances at the top like this, one on each side, as long as it's not covered by sand. Sometimes the world generator will automatically cover it with sand, sometimes they'll be right out in the open. And there's also a roof entrance. There's a hole right in the roof, and it drops you down into this little area. Now, it seems pretty obvious that most people are going to break this block right here, but that's actually the wrong one, and by now, after playing for a long time, most people know that the center block is not the one you want to dig down, because if you fall right on this little guy, you'll trigger the TNT below, and it'll all explode in your face. So let's just reclone it from the destination. There we go, good as new. And let's try this again. So a smart person would find this, they'd come inside, and then they'd not dig down here, but they'd dig down right here. Destroy those chests, destroy the pressure plate, get all the stuff in these chests, claim it as their own. Sometimes there's some pretty good things in here. Then you can break these blocks out, gather the TNT to be used later, and then you have 9 extra TNT. So, you ready to make some traps for it? Alright, so let's make this trap. We're going to come prepared this time. Dig down. I'm just going to destroy these blocks just so we have some light to work with down here. We're going to destroy this pressure plate and pick it up. We're going to grab all the good stuff out of these chests. And then once you've grabbed everything you want out of the chests, we're going to break them, break the block underneath them, and the block underneath that as well. Then we're going to place redstone at each of these blocks, and then we're going to replace this sandstone, just like before, with a trap chest, and finally we can replace our pressure plate. With the pressure plate back in its location, all you have to do is open up any of these trap chests and they'll trigger the TNT. So even an experienced player who knows how to dodge the traps will still set them off if they don't notice that they're trap chests. Another way to trap one of these is to put tripwire in the entrance and hook it up to a bunch of TNT. This one's very difficult to see because most of the time, oh no, what did I do? Most of the time people aren't paying attention. This is a really easy one to do because most of the time people are paying attention on the prize instead of paying attention to the little details around it. They don't assume that any kind of wilderness spawned structure will pose any danger to them more than they already know. To make this one, it's actually pretty easy. You're going to start out by gathering all the resources yourself, grab all that loot, go ahead and dig down and collect all the loot you want. Then we're going to fill it back in and come on over here. Right in the front, there's already a really nice place for you to set this up. We're going to place some blocks here with some tripwire hooks attached to each one. String all along the floor, right in front of the entrance. This is extremely difficult to see. Next, we're going to dig right here in this wall, and we're going to run some redstone right down here. Dig out underneath this area as much as you like. The more you dig it out, the more TNT you'll be able to fit. And then place as much TNT as you like. I like to completely fill the area with TNT. I have a creeper grinder and I have really good shovels, so I can get as much sand and gunpowder as I like, so I have no shortage of TNT. Once the area is completely filled, all you have to do is leave it and wait. I also like to put some blocks right up here so that I don't have to worry about players coming into the top. Blocking off these entrances, and then the only place to come back in safely, we want to make sure we exit safely or teleport out, and then the next player who comes in is going to be in for a nasty surprise. Another cool thing about these desert temples is they're really easy to replicate. So let's just take a look at this pattern right here. We're going to take a picture of it, and then we're going to hold it next to our monitor so we can see exactly how to build this in survival. So now that I've taken a screenshot, I'm going to go over to my own little mountain. I'm going to make a base in the mountain, and I'm going to carve out a little flat space right in front. So we're going to take this out in survival mode. Obviously I'm doing it in creative for the sake of the video. Now that we have a nice flat area on our mountain, we can get to work. We're going to start replicating the picture that we took earlier, or you can just use this one right here. We're going to start by laying out sandstone 9 high. We're starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to dig out the sand right here because we don't need that. From the top, we're going to count down 1 block and place these smoother chiseled sandstone. Then we're going to make a little cap with orange hardened clay. We're going to use some chiseled sandstone here with a piece of orange hardened clay in the middle, and then surround it on the outside like this. Fill in the rest of the center with the smooth sandstone, just like this. And then we're going to count over by 3, skipping blocks every time. So, skip a block, 1, 2, 3. 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 So, right here, this is where our main entrance is going to go. We're going to skip some, and then right here, this is where we're going to start the rest of our chiseled. So, like before, we're going to place a chiseled block here with some orange hardened clay going up. Just like on the other side, we're going to place some chiseled sandstone. Smooth on the sides. Orange hardened clay. Clear out all the sand on top. Chiseled sandstone again. And smooth on the sides. Now that that's finished, we're going to make our main entrance. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this for your main entrance. We're going to dig some space out for our inset main entrance, and we're going to replace that with chiseled stone. With smooth sandstone. We have a nice little walkway in the center. There's a nice little top bar, which we're going to also replace with smooth sandstone. And up here we're going to place some hardened orange clay to make some little eyes. We're going to place one here and one here with a chiseled in the middle. We're going to add some smooth stone on the outside, just like this. Save these corners. Then we're going to dig out these sides just like this. 3 spaces on each side. With all the sand and the sandstone destroyed. Just like that. We're going to replace these with sandstone. Here's the coolest part. Now that we have our artificial sand temple, all we have to do is dig out a little bit of the area in the middle. We're going to place one of those diamonds like we saw before with this orange clay. Replace the center with blue stained clay. You can go ahead and place some torches in here. I like to place them out of sight because the real sand temples don't have any torches. And here's where we're going to build our trap. Now, it's really nice to work with this 1 wide hallway because all we have to do is place pistons in the side. So we're going to dig this away, dig down a nice pit. We're going to dig out a block on the side and then 1 more. Place pistons like this. Replace the sandstone right here. And then we're going to hook up the redstone to our favorite trigger. Alright, so I've trapped this one up off camera, and it's all set. It's ready to go. So as I walk in, I absorb an item through the wall, opens up a simple pit, fall to my death. The deeper you dig it, the more likely they'll die. These traps are my favorite because they're automatically resetting, they're undetectable, and they're really easy to build. Doesn't take a lot of resources. It kills you, gathers all your stuff into hoppers, and it resets above you. I'm going to go into game mode 3 to give you a quick look at how I built this trap, but I have a tutorial, if you click here, on how to build this trap and similar traps as well. So basically all I did was line the floor with some sticky pistons, dug a pit deep down all the way to hoppers below to collect the items. You don't need to light it with torches, I just did to make it easier for you to see. And then on the side we have a wooden pressure plate with a dropper that'll drop items down onto that pressure plate. As the player walks in, they absorb those items unless they have a full inventory. That's why I like to use items like arrows or cobble, things that people typically have. Steak is a great one. Fill it up. It will last for a really long time, 3 in-game days if you fill up this dispenser completely, but you can always add a hopper above with more storage. Then we have some redstone that triggers the pistons and a redstone that triggers a simple clock that'll allow this to keep going until it actually trips that plate. Very simple, very easy, repeatable, and you can just claim this as your faction land and collect it every once in a while. No one will notice from this side that it's even something to dig into, but from this side, there's an obvious entrance. And most people won't realize that it's not exactly right. They'll just see that blue block and they'll be really looking forward to getting some potential loot. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Make sure you check out my channel and subscribe if you'd like to see more trap videos. I post them every week. Click here to check out some of my recent trap videos and blow up that like button.